Hey guys, welcome back to the Athlete Zone podcast. My name is Juliet and I am the brand manager here at Athlete Zone. Today I have a special guest joining me from Ole Miss in the University of Mississippi. She has already made a name for herself on the field, and today we are going to talk about how she has been working off the field, how her journey got her there, and what her brand means to her. So today our guest is Sidney O'Billovich, a standout soccer player at the University of Mississippi. Before stepping into the spotlight at a collegiate level, she had an impressive high school career in which she was able to become a D1 athlete. So today we're going to talk about her journey to getting to where she is today and how she's using her platform to build a brand and that represents something so much bigger than just sports. So first off, Sidney, welcome to the show. How is life treating you at University of Mississippi?
Hi, I'm so excited to be here, first and foremost. But life is so good here. It is really hot right now. I'm here right in the middle of summer, so that's really awesome. But it's such a fun experience, and to take my last year here, I'm just so grateful.
That's so awesome. So you are doing a sixth year, right? Okay, yeah, that's
Yes.
a long time. I've heard fifth
Yeah.
year, but I have not heard sixth year very much. Um,
Yeah,
and
it's the whole COVID and it's the red
yeah.
shirt and it's all, yeah.
Yeah, because you were high school class of 2020, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you got here in the thick of it. Did they even have soccer your freshman year?
Yeah, my freshman year was interesting because it was hard because every state was different with their laws and what you could and couldn't do in groups. And so we had to cancel our fall season, but it transitioned over into our spring season as our primary season. And that just was very interesting because we could only practice in groups of like 10, and then we could
Mm.
only play at certain facilities. And so it wasn't really like a real season, but I think that's why they gave a lot of athletes in the fall back their COVID year.
That's nice. And you started at University of Oregon, right?
I
Or
started at New Mexico
University of
State.
Oregon. Oregon State. I literally go there. I don't know why I said University of Oregon.
I
Um,
started at New Mexico State actually, and
okay.
then yeah, so I was there for 1 year over COVID, and then transferred to Portland State for like a season, 2 seasons I think, and then took 2 seasons at Texas Tech, and now I'm here at Ole Miss.
I don't know
So I've
why
been all over.
I don't know why I assumed Oregon State. I That's so
I have a
random.
lot of family that played there, so maybe that's why I landed
Okay.
on that.
Okay, that makes sense. But you are originally from Oregon, correct?
Yes, I am from
Okay, cool.
Portland.
Can you tell us about where you grew up and how you got into soccer?
Yeah, so I grew up in the Beaverton metro area, and growing up, I had two older sisters, and we all played multiple sports, basketball, soccer, and we all just loved it so much. And my sisters kind of got older, and they were just like, you know what, we just want to go to college. We just want to live the normal college life. And for me, I always just had a passion for soccer. It was just something that I loved at a really young age, and even seeing my sisters play it, I just really realized that that was something that could take me far. And I remember I joined a travel team in Oregon. It was one of the only ones in Oregon that it was a national travel team called ECNL, and we're traveling, playing all these different teams in Tennessee, New York, California, just all around the nation, and start going to showcases. And my dad played college football, and he would always tell me that college sports is one of the coolest things ever. And he was like, you should just go experience it. And when I started kind of hearing from schools, I really was so excited, and I was like, this could really be my life. And I started to just have more of a passion for it just because I wanted more and more.
I love that. That's a good piece of advice from your dad. Yeah, I feel like playing a college sport is a once in a lifetime experience. A lot of people don't get to have it. Um,
Mhm.
so was there a specific moment in high school that made you realize that you'd be able to have a collegiate career in soccer?
Yeah, I think growing up and being on that national like travel team was really helpful just because, like I said, you have college scouts coming to your games and reaching out to your coaches because you're too young to talk to them at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And when my parents are telling me like you can get your college paid for, and I started to get some accolades at kind of a younger age in high school, and I think I started to realize that I was doing well at my age for that sport, for soccer, and so I really took it seriously and I put all my time and energy into it. And I had the best coaches, I had the best team growing up, and all of them were just really encouraging to help me get to that point. And I was just like, you know what? I'm not done yet. And I didn't want to stop playing something that I love so much until I was ready to be done. And I wasn't ready.
Yeah, for sure. That totally makes sense. What was your proudest moment in high school? So it sounds like you had a crazy high school career, so there might be a lot, but
So I went to a high school at the time. It was called Mountainside. Um, but it was a newer high school. We were the first graduating class, so when we had came in, it was sophomore, freshman, and then as we were getting older, it was junior, sophomore, freshman, and we were always the oldest class. So playing these other schools that have a senior class or have been playing varsity sports for years and years, it was definitely weird to adapt to all that, but our first year in varsity sports, we made it to, I think, semifinals in state. And that was just kind of setting the tone for us because we were like, you know what? Like, this team is really good and we can make it to the state championship next year. And then that following season, my senior year, right before COVID happened, I got to play with my best friend. It was like our last season together before she went off to college and I went off to college. And we both played, made it to the state championship game, and her and I were both named. I think it was first in state, first team all state, and that was one of the coolest rewarding moments for me. And then just seeing articles come out like top goalkeepers in Oregon and just seeing that other people are recognizing that, like that was super cool just because I knew how hard we had worked as a team and I knew how hard I worked and I'd seen my friends work so hard, but seeing the acknowledgement from other people, that was super rewarding and that was really cool.
yeah, I grew up in Portland area too, and I remember women's soccer was a big. I feel like it's taken a little more seriously here, and I
Yeah,
remember Mountainside when it was the first new school, and I remember hearing about their soccer team too. So that's
yeah,
really
that was
cool.
definitely a really fun experience.
Yeah, and you got to do it with your bestie too, like right before saying goodbye. That's like a
Yeah.
perfect little ending. I love that. So what challenges did you face while you were in high school and how did they shape you as an athlete?
Yeah, I think the recruiting process was definitely really hard. Just figuring out where I wanted to go, where I saw myself, because I mean, growing up, especially in Oregon, um, you're in the rain all the time. So my thought process the whole time was, well, I just want to be in the sun or I just want to be by the beach.
I
But
feel that.
I never really, yeah, like you don't really know what you truly want until you're, I guess, in college is what I would say. I really found out like what I wanted till I got to college, but it was nice to have my dad's kind of guidance because, like I said, he went through the recruiting process. It was a lot different when he went through it, just because he had like mailed letters and it wasn't like emails back and forth. It was actual offers.
Yeah.
But it was it's been he was helpful through the whole thing, but I think just navigating and trying to figure out like where I fit in the best. Because I did go on a few visits, they were all very different, and I really enjoyed a lot of my visits, but it was so hard to try to figure out, am I gonna be happy here? Because I'm 16, 17 years old trying to figure out where I'm gonna make my life decision.
That's the crazy thing about recruiting. Some people I know were recruited as young as 14 years old. And how do you make a
Mhm.
decision that is going to affect you in 4 years when you're a completely
Exactly.
different person? But you ended up staying in Portland, so I'm assuming the rain couldn't have been that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up playing
Yeah.
soccer. I loved playing games in the rain. That was my favorite.
hmm Yes. It's so fun, but the turf and the turf burns, not fun.
Yeah, see, I wasn't doing all that fancy. I was in the mud. I was like 10 years old, but I loved it.
Yeah.
Okay, so high school is obviously a huge part of you becoming who you are.
Mhm.
But transitioning into college, it's a big jump, lots of changes, independence. So I want to talk a little bit more about that. What was the biggest adjustment that you had when you got to, you said Portland State?
Yeah,
University
so
of Portland.
New Mexico State my
New
first
Mexico
year, and
State.
then Portland State.
I'll get
Well,
it by the end of the
I've been
video.
to so many schools, I've been to all the coasts.
Okay. New Mexico.
But
What was I don't even remember what my question was now. What was the biggest adjustment you had to make?
um my first year was definitely I was so homesick. It was so hard, and I think a big factor was COVID just because when we did first get to campus, we weren't allowed to hang out with other sports. We could only go to and from practice. It was just COVID restrictions. The campus was dead. There was no in-person classes, which I think was really hard for me, but also I'm so far away from home. So when I
Your
did come home, it was
your first year was 2020 or 21? No, 2020, right?
2020 into
Yeah,
2021.
so like right in the thick of it.
Yeah. So my whole senior year got cut off by COVID, and then we
That's
still had to go in July. Yeah, it was so crazy.
it's
It
such a
was,
fever dream that all happened, and it like today especially I've really learned how much it has affected athletes because sports where you can't be in groups, but that's your career. So
yeah. And so many of my friends, one of my friends actually told me like earlier this week, I kind of miss COVID. Like COVID was so fun. And I go, don't talk about it. I was traumatized.
you're like by yourself in a
Traumatized.
dorm room, you can't be around people, like
Literally.
that's horrible.
Literally. But I would probably say from high school to college, a really big adjustment, especially as an athlete, was just like the level of play and the maturity and the standards and all of that stuff that you hear from your coaches growing up is so realistic because I mean, the level of play is 10 times faster. Let me tell you, my first week of practice, I literally was like, I'm the worst soccer player ever.
Oh, that
But
anxiety of just like, wait, was this a good idea?
anxiety, yes. And literally, just a simple 6 yard pass that I've done my whole life, I would overthink it so much and be like, wait, I've done this before. Why am I overthinking this?
Oh, yeah, and you're the freshman, and so you've got all the upperclassmen. You're all nervous about like being the annoying freshman that
Yes.
disappoints. Like, there's
Yes,
so much pressure.
exactly.
Ugh, yeah,
So much pressure.
that would make me sick, I fear. So with that, you were saying you were homesick. You're on your own. What kind of role did your coaching staff play for you at this time?
So my coaching staff at New Mexico State my first year was my old club coaches. So
Hmm.
that was really nice because I kind of felt like a piece of home. So from my ECNL team, he got the job at New Mexico State. Ended up committing there, and it was just nice to have someone to talk to when I was going through stuff because I mean, I went into his office and cried so much.
Oh,
It was so hard, but I was also a little freshman, and he was probably like, "Oh my gosh, Sydney, like you will be fine, trust
like
me."
you have no
Which now I'm
idea.
looking back, yes, and I'm looking back at the freshman now, and I'm like, guys, trust me, I was there.
Well, and
Um,
so many
but
people go through that and they give up. Like they just
yes,
they can't take it and they're like, I want to go back home. But it's really all you have to do is
exactly.
push through.
Exactly, and I remember calling my dad halfway through season when I told him I wanted to transfer. And I was like, "I don't wanna play anymore, like, this is so hard." And he was like, "Sydney, if you quit, you will regret this for the rest of your life." And ever since then, I've always thought back about that because he's so right. Like I'm literally in my 6th year now.
Yeah,
Like I'm
not
taking every last year of eligibility.
yeah.
But it's just been super helpful to have coaches like that in my corner because like at New Mexico State and then even Texas Tech, like the most supportive coaches I have ever had. And those coaches just genuinely care about you. And if I ever had a concern or anything going on, or I was going through something at home or whatever it was, they would just like hold me in their arms and literally be like, we don't have to talk about soccer right now. Let's make sure you're okay before we move forward. And I just appreciate that so much, especially because I mean, my parents are sending me to these places, and my coaches are essentially my second parents at
Y-
these schools.
Yeah, and you're all by yourself too, especially New Mexico. I don't know, being from Portland, like that is unfamiliar territory to me. Like I don't know anything about the area, and I feel like going there would be so scary, especially by yourself. That like
Mhm.
having those extra set of parents for you is really helpful. And
Yeah,
also I think it changes how you perform and how you succeed when you have like a good foundation of support with you.
yeah.
So what is one misconception that people have about being a college athlete?
Okay, I've actually talked to my friends about this, so this is a really good question. But
Hmm.
I think a lot of times people think that everything, we just get all these perks and we just have everything kind of handed to us because we're college athletes. But I don't think a lot of people, unless you're a college athlete, truly understand that the stuff that we go through is brutal. Like, we genuinely not only face practices and training and workouts every single day, even in off season, but like the mental battle of it all is just as hard, maybe even harder. And I think that's something that, I mean, even as a 6th year, I still deal with it all the time of just like, shoot, that was such a bad practice. And then I'll replay it in my head the whole day until the next practice. And those things are really draining. But when the good is good, it is the best thing ever. And yeah, we do get a lot of spotlight and we do get a lot of perks and whatnot, but we work our butts off for it. And so it's not all it's not all butterflies and roses, but
No, and that's why I like to ask that question. I mean I've interviewed quite a bit of athletes, but I also have a lot of friends who are student athletes and I mean, I was even guilty of it myself, where I felt like it was they were just lucky and they got everything handed to them. But no, I think people have a huge lack of understanding of the work ethic that athletes have. That's why, you
mm,
may not have jobs on your resume because you dedicated your whole life to soccer, but people want to hire a student athlete because it shows that you know how to dedicate time, work ethic, you know how to work in groups. But yeah, I agree. That's a huge misconception that you guys are just put in the spotlight. You're lucky, things are handed to you. You athletes, especially at the collegiate level, have sacrificed so much to get here that it's like it's not you're getting everything handed to you. It's like here, let's give you something finally now from all these years of hard work that you've put
yeah,
in. Here, now you can have this cool thing, this cool duffel bag, like
exactly.
you know. Um,
Exactly. And it's so interesting too because every single athlete has their own story. And the transfer portal is obviously really big, especially nowadays. And it's so easy to judge people off. Well, they've been at 5 schools. I mean, I've been at 4 schools. But everyone has their own reason for it, and it's just so interesting to hear that. And I just I have a lot of respect for other athletes just because like obviously I'm in this situation, but I tell the freshmen all the time like if you want to transfer, that's normal. You have your own story, you have but just know, like, just stay in it. It's gonna be so worth it. Just kind of like you said, like we've worked so hard to get here. Don't let this one crappy experience, whatever, throw you off.
Yeah. Yeah, I 100% agree. And I feel like a lot of athletes, they come from struggle too, because the reason they are an athlete is because that the sport was their outlet and then it turned into something that was so much more. But
Yeah.
yeah, I athletes definitely, they deserve a lot more respect than what they're given for their hard work. I agree. Um, so over the next year, your last year, sad. Um, what are some goals that you have for yourself on and off the field?
I've always wanted to leave a legacy wherever I'm at, whether it's if I'm not playing, whether it's on the bench and being the loudest one and being the most positive one, or if I'm on the field. I want to create stats and I want to create just memories, and I want to be that player that the next person in my position wants to come in and be. So I've always just kind of wanted to be that person that other people look up to. I guess that goes for on and off the field. It's just something that my parents have really instilled in me is just to be a good role model. And having my dad and my grandpa, they played football at Oregon State, and they left their legacy there, and their plaques are on the field and all that, and that's always just been the coolest thing to me growing up, going to Oregon State football games in my little Oregon State cheerleader outfit and going to see my grandpa's plaque on the pro throw field before every game. Like that is just so cool, and I would want my kids one day to kind of have that same mindset of this is what my mom did. Look how cool she is, and hopefully like they'll kind of just want to have that same mindset. So
Yeah, yeah, leave your mark for sure. What are your plans for after college? Are you wanting to go pro or are you thinking more are you majoring in something that you want to pursue?
yeah, so my mom and dad have talked to me a lot about going pro. It's definitely something that I haven't scratched off the books yet. Something I'm still kind of considering, but right now I'm in the master's program for sports management. So I want to go into social media within sports. I want to keep sports still kind of around.
Yeah.
So I'm doing an internship right now for Ole Miss athletics and kind of working with all these programs over here. Doing like tiny mic videos, editing content, editing photos, things like that. Just the behind the scenes of what that work field looks like. And then potentially after college, if I'm not playing pro or I don't end up going anywhere for soccer, then I'll potentially look at jobs in different sports fields and want to do their social media. And that would be kind of like a dream for me. I would love to just keep sports somehow tied in to my life.
Yeah, I think I feel like most athletes feel that way and I feel like they always make it happen too. Like if
Mhm.
especially when you know you're a talented athlete like yourself, like people want you in on their team if they're working
Mhm.
in sports, you know.
Yeah.
So as you've grown as an athlete, you've also started building something even bigger, your brand. So I want to talk to you a bit about your brand and ask you, how has building your brand helped you both on and off the field?
So I'm actually wearing my brand today,
Yes.
but it's so awesome. I love this sweatshirt.
This was
But
actually the
it has
first.
honestly been.
Oh, sorry. That was the
Go
first
ahead.
piece of merch I ever made, and it's one of my favorites. I love that crew neck.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes, it's. I'm a big matching set person, so this was a really fun project to do. But on and off the field with this, with my brand and everything that you guys have helped me with, it's been just really awesome because I feel like I'm playing for something so much more. And a lot of the times when I'm walking into the field, I'm wearing my OB1 merch. And OB comes from O'Billovich, but that's what they called my dad and grandpa when they played football. And then my number was always number one, um, all through high school, all through college. And so it just kind of stuck. And it's just been so fun because I got to build a brand that's just really helped me, empowered me, but also something that's so true to me. I mean, on the back of this crew neck, it's look good, feel good, play good. And that is something that one of my favorite players, Hope Solo, used to say before games, and I was like, she's so right. Like, I want to look good before games. I want my hair to be cute. I want to feel good before games, and then I want to play good. So it's just something I've always lived by, and it's something that I can be myself in, but also it's just really shown me a lot of like courage and empowerment.
Yeah, no, and I feel like it applies everywhere too. I almost got one myself. I thought it was so cute. Like if you look
Yeah.
good and you feel good, you perform well every time. I feel like 10 out of
Mhm.
10, if you wake up not feeling your best, probably not going to do as well. So, I think it's
Yeah.
a good
I mean,
quote.
I get so jealous of like track runners because they look so beautiful before their meets. Literally, they're full braids or their hair's all curly, and then they're wearing the cutest nails and then all their jewelry. And I'm like, oh, if I could like totally have my earrings in while I'm playing.
I know exactly what you mean, and they look so good. Yeah,
Yes.
jealous. Because yeah, a lot of sports are limiting. Like you can't wear jewelry or
Mhm.
trying to think of other rules, but I guess it really is just the jewelry, pretty much.
Yeah.
Nails. Can you guys have nails?
We can have nails. I usually don't have nails just because when I'm wearing keeper gloves and if I stub my finger, I'm not trying to have like a nail rip off, and it's just the worst
Oh
pain
my
ever.
gosh.
So it's just easier for me to just catch the ball and not have to worry about a broken nail.
I agree. I'd probably do the same thing. There's nothing worse than a nail being ripped off.
It's the worst.
So what are some long-term goals for your brand beyond your college career?
Yeah, so I just want to keep making this true to myself. I want to keep continuing to advertise it. I want to continue to have people remember me, especially from this logo. I know that it's something that a lot of my friends and family have supported, and seeing pictures of them in it and seeing them at my senior night at Texas Tech all wearing my OB1 merch, like that was just like the coolest feeling. And I want to continue to grow that just because my soccer career is done doesn't mean my legacy is done. And so I want to continue to just build on that, and hopefully I'll still have supporters coming in and supporting me, looking after me, things like that. So,
Yeah, no, I agree. Even if you're not doing a sport, there's still so much room to grow and create a brand that, like you said, you like to be a leader. Be a leader or a good role model. So that leads me to my next question. What is one thing you wish more people understood about supporting athletes?
I think, and especially I'm going to kind of narrow it down because athletes, but like even women's athletes, like right now we're on this evolution, and it's so important to support female athletes. And I think for us, like our platform, we have such an important platform and something that people can look up to. And um, for me, especially, like I want to continue to grow my platform so maybe little girls who do want to play college soccer can look up to me and things like that. And so, just supporting athletes and just showing that you care, and you're maybe this little girl who really enjoyed me ends up wanting to get an Obi-Wan shirt. Like little things like that are really just important because that helps all of us like expand and want to keep growing and supporting each other and things like that. I mean, I'm sure we all know who Caitlin Clark is and how much she's grown the sport of women's basketball. I mean, little things like that, just supporting like athletes in general, but even just like women's sports, like it's just so important.
Yeah, I do. I agree. It is such an evolution, and I've seen a lot of growth lately. Like Caitlin Clark, my entire For You page, it's all her.
I love her. I love her.
Yeah, no, she's girl crush for sure.
She
um,
is. She is.
like I don't even pay attention to sports like that heavily on social media, but like I love seeing a video of her. She's so cool.
I'm not gonna be mad about it. I'm not gonna scroll past it.
I'll never complain. Well, anyways, this has been an incredible conversation. I really appreciate you taking your time to speak with us today. What is a good way for people to follow you and support you?
Yeah, so I have my Instagram is Sidney O'Bill, SIDNEYOBILL. I am mainly active on there. My TikTok, same username, Sydney, but OBIE. And I post all of my new drops on there. If we have a game, I'll usually post what time the game is, the link, things like that. But um, just come check out my page. Come support me. I always love
Yeah.
support, and if anyone has any questions about their journey or recruiting or anything, please DM me because I will help you and I'll answer a lot of questions.
Oh, I love that. Team Obill, Team Obi-Wan. Well, thank
Yes.
you so much for joining us today. And to our listeners, don't forget to check out Sydney's merch online. You can go to athletezone.com and purchase her stuff. Everything directly supports her and her journey. Again, my name is Juliet. I'm the brand manager at Athlete Zone. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we hope to see you next time.